Hey guys, and welcome to our next video blog. Today we're going to have a two-part series based on the question I get most often asked at the facility and as an instructor or coach. And that is the problem of applying how kids do in a lesson or in the batting cage or in the bullpen over to a game situation. That's a very tough question to ask, and like I said, that's why we're going to do this in two pieces. The first piece we're going to talk about today it's from a physiological standpoint, or from the body's reaction to learning something new. Most people have heard the saying that it takes 21 days or 9,000 repetitions to learn something new. And that's the first part we're going to talk about today. Obviously, the human body gets in a routine, gets used to doing things a certain way, and obviously, the longer you've been doing it that way, the harder it is to establish a new habit. For instance, what I use an example a lot of times is if you have a light switch in your bedroom that's on the right side of the wall as you walk in the door, if someone were to switch that to the left side, it would take you a couple of weeks to not reach for that light switch on that side of the doorway. So it's kind of a similar thing. As far as baseball mechanics are concerned, a lot of times it takes a lot more than that. It's a little bit more of a complex movement, so it takes a little bit longer to get that ingrained as a normal instinct with a player. The problem that becomes is a lot of times is it takes more time to develop, just because a lot of times players have been doing it that way a little longer, or their bodies are not accustomed to doing it that way. So the body kind of goes into shock at first when it learns something new. It takes a while to develop. The first stage of developing that is being able to do it in a lesson or in a drill. Um, the biggest problem of applying that is when you get into a game situation is you don't want the player thinking about what they're doing. Okay, and what I explain that is a lot of times you say don't think, just hit, or don't think, just throw. You hear that term used all the time. Usually in a lesson or a batting cage or a bullpen experience, the player is able to think about what they're doing. They're not going full speed. They don't have the hitter up there. They don't have the pitcher up there they're facing. They don't have the fans. So it adds a little bit more to the situation where they have other things to think about. They have to think about the count. They have to think about signs from the coach. What's going on? What are they trying to do? So the last thing they want to be doing is thinking about something mechanical that they're doing. So um, there have been some studies that show now that it takes almost 60 days to learn a new habit, which is why a lot of times in lessons what I try to do with the kids is I try to give them some drills to do at home. And I know it's very, very obvious the ones that do the drills at home in between lessons. I mean, it's night and day the difference when they show up. And like I tell just almost all of my kids, if you spend just 5 minutes a day learning a new drill, you'll get it so much faster. Even if it's 5 minutes with a towel or just mirror drills, anything to reinforce that movement you're trying to create in a game situation is going to help you retain that faster. So oftentimes I see players I go see that I've done lessons with for a month, and I'll see habits that I've never seen before ever in a lesson. So that's why I try to get out to visit the players to see them in action, so I can see if anything different's going on that I need to address. That's the first part of the series. We'll be back with part two shortly.